Hey there, class kickers. Welcome back to this episode in the series that we're doing about animation. And we're talking about Brush.Ninja. And in this particular one, I'm going to show you like one of my favorite sort of dumb animations. It's one that I just created and I threw it into a spreadsheet. And it's just really fun where you can make like a game out of it. And that is, how do we get like a reveal, sort of like where something animates away or dissolves away. You see this a lot on these brain break YouTube videos that are out there, particularly in elementary school. But you could do it also in your secondary class with some of the content. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. There's a couple different ways. Well, let's hop right in. All right, there, class kickers. We're going to jump into this tutorial on how to create a reveal game animation. I'm going to leave the heart in there. It's been in there for all these tutorials, the last tutorial. And I'm going to go to, this time, a shape. And what I want is I want solid line, solid fill, and they need to be the same. And maybe I'll leave it on square. So let's just take this to white. And I'm going to go to fill color white. And when I was a kid, there was this local, like Northeast Pennsylvania, southern part of New York show. It was for kids where, oh, I'm on football. There we go. And this particular show, they would constantly do this really cool thing where they put something on the screen and then they would roll like a paintbrush and it would eventually go away and you had to guess what was behind it. A little kid show. And so this is kind of a nod to that. If you grew up anywhere in the eastern Pennsylvania or kind of southern tier area of New York, you probably will remember Hatchie Malachi if you're old like I is. But here's what I have. This rectangle is ginormous, and you'll notice I keep moving it off to the side because what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate it. But first, I'm going to punch a hole in it. So imagine if you have this guessing game and there's somebody sitting in a chair with a big sheet across the room and you had to guess who was back there. And somebody kept punching holes in it, right? That's kind of what we're going to do. So I'm going to go to the brush tool. I'm going to go to the eraser. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a hole in the middle. Now, there's a couple of things I can do. I can stretch this out and move it around like a spotlight effect, right? So I can grab this and every frame I can just move it around, but it has to be big enough so that doesn't happen, right? So I have to know where my boundary is and I just maybe animate it around so you can get an idea of some of the information. And maybe you do that for a 10-second animation and the kids guess. I'm going to make it really big. So I could reveal parts of the picture and they have to guess what's back there. Or you could put one of them up and then just keep every frame. So now I'm gonna delete this one. I'm gonna duplicate the frame and punch another couple holes in it, and then duplicate the frame and punch a couple holes in it. So I could have gone back to this one, duplicated it, and then just used my move tool to move it around and kind of give them a little, it's like headlights in the dark, right? Either way, then if you wanted to, if your kids are not getting it, you kind of duplicate and then maybe take a big, let me go back to my brush tool. I'm still on the eraser. I maybe take a big swath, right? And then the next frame, I take another swath and then another one and another one. And then we go the other way, right? So you're trying to like just make it fun. But here's how the trick of all this works. If I go back to my background and I say make transparent, now I can export this out with transparency, bring it into a Google slide, and every slide can have a different background because you can't do that on Brush.Ninja, but the animation will play on every slide when you advance. So you could create 15 slides with 15 different presidents, as an example, use the same stinking animation, and then the kids have to guess who it is that comes up. Or better yet, you give every kid this super simple tutorial, and then every student actually creates their own reveal animation using the eraser or the spotlight effect. They bring it to a transparent background, they export it out, and they send it to you, and you build the slides, and then they know, hey, that was my animation, but that's Woodrow Wilson or something. I don't know why that knowledge would be important anymore, but you get the basic idea. You could do, in my science class, I would have done it with biomes, right? We could do it with organelles. It doesn't matter what the content is. The cool part was the kids had a hand in creating a tool that you used in the lesson. Their engagement of the content in that lesson is going to go through the roof because you valued them enough to let them co-create some part of the educational process, right? So super amazing. So that's one of those really fun ones that I just kind of wanted to share with you guys that I like to use with students and with staff alike. And that's pretty much the extent of what I use Brush.Ninja for. And if you're looking for examples for ideas of different, projects you can do with your students or other tutorials from there, I would give you that my greatest advice is give them as little direction as possible, give them time to play, and then let them teach the class. So I do this often with my students. If you're using a PhET simulation or a Explore Learning Gizmo or Brush.Ninja or anything like that, is you just say, hey, go play for 5 minutes, figure it out, fail forward, fail fast, fail in groups, I don't care. And then at the end of 5 minutes, I want you to show us what you learned. And every time I've done this, I've had students show me something I didn't know beforehand with something else, right? So it's really cool to have that speed across the board. And those kids now feel like, hey, this is, I get to be a part of what we're doing. It's not passive anymore. It's active, it's engaging, and they can show you what they know. And so, I've given you a couple of examples across the board, but anytime there's a process, so I think in science you have like the water cycle, or you might have a growth cycle. Kids can animate that. I've had students animating the life cycle of a butterfly, and they create everything where you use the shape tool. I've had students show how a seed goes and becomes a tree. I've had students take a word and animate it into the action of that word. All sorts of crazy things, and so it's really up to you what you create. And I would love whatever you create. Hit me up on Twitter, X, whatever, with at Class Kicker, and show me what you're doing. I'd love to see it. Again, Brush.Ninja. I hope this was helpful. What else do you want to see? Drop that down in the comments, and I hope it was helpful.